oh, if I make a mistake, they will never ever take me. Oh my God. Like, how am I going to understand? How am I going to do this? You need to stop that. Stop that. Do you know what that does to your mental health? Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naomi of Radio, and as you all know, this channel always gonna be on self-growth, self-improvement, and self-development. All is the same. And always guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi my love, welcome back, and this is a chance for you to subscribe to enjoy this platform. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about something delicious, something sweet, something that makes me always gonna be happy, because this is an era for me. I am in my happy girl era. If you want to get to your happy girl era, you need to start doing some certain things and stop doing some certain things. And this, I'm gonna give you tips on how to get yourself back. Okay, let's get to the first one. Okay, the first one is negative self-talk. When it comes to negative self-talk, you see a lot of people that have prepared so much. Okay, for a scene, right? Let me give an example. You've prepared so much, you've gone through all your topics, you have a presentation at work, right? And you have properly and thoroughly prepared for that presentation. But then as the day goes by, as the day start approaching, you start seeing that you're getting anxious, you start doubting yourself if you can literally go on. Thereby, you start engaging in negative self-talk, right? I had to stop engaging in negative self-thought. And then you now start seeing yourself, oh my gosh, what are people going to say about me? I'm going to be a very messy talker. They're going to say that I'm not a good speaker. Oh my God, that I'm so incompetent. Why did they even choose me? You start self-doubting yourself, right? Self-sabotaging that situation. Then you now start saying, oh, if I make a mistake, they will never ever take me. Oh my God. Like, how am I going to understand? How am I going to do this? You need to stop that. Stop that. Do you know what that does to your mental health? You start getting anxious. You're already having sweaty palms. You're already finding it difficult to even concentrate on your preparation. The confidence that you had like 2 weeks ago, right now, it's literally in shambles. Do you understand? You now start self-doubting to the extent that you don't even think you can deliver that preparation or that presentation. So how to correct yourself this way is that you need to acknowledge that you need to start challenging yourself as a person. Remind yourself of your past success and positive feedback you've received. Now, when I say remind yourself, is that replace your thoughts. Sorry, guys, I don't even know if this mic is placed well. Replace your thoughts with positive affirmations. This practice made me go into a very particular area whereby, like, I had to understand that, whoa, I was doing the wrong thing for so long, and that's what a lot of people are doing right now. So I've replaced, and you're going to replace it that, oh, I have prepared well, and I'm going to stand on that stage and I'm going to present what I prepared. Those other people that you're seeing right there are going to be your listeners. Do you understand? You are capable of delivering that great presentation. As you start inculcating that positive affirmation, you see that that instillation of fear will start reducing. Now you need to focus on the facts, and focusing on factual evidence is mean that your capabilities and preparation, instead of imagining failures already that hasn't even happened. Do you understand? So seeking support during that particular time, it's very, 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 very crucial and important, because you have to start discussing your anxiety with someone you trust. And thereby, when they say a problem shared is a problem solved, you start seeing that you're going to get better at that. So that way, that person is going to talk to you, that person is going to encourage you on how to actually feel better during what should I say, during situations like that. Do you understand? And the second thing I always tell myself, and the second thing I had to also recognize, is comparing myself to others. this was a major aspect in my life, and I was really comparing myself to others. I was feeling so unhappy. Like, God, okay. Even in school, this thing happened, yeah. Um, Most of my friends would just read in an instant. And for me, I will have to read like times two of what they've read. And that made me so unhappy. I'm like, oh, why is it like that? And then I started understanding that for everyone has their own way of assimilating things. Do you understand? And that way, I started learning that I need to be able to assimilate things so I can give the same actual result. So you start comparing yourself like that. And I had to learn this so much because I knew that this was consuming my happiness and I needed to stop. I started realizing that my own path is different from someone else's own path. If I want to be happy, if I want to personally make myself happy, I need to personally develop myself. Do you understand? Not because someone is getting it right in life, not because you don't even know. Like I keep telling people, you don't know what people are going through. They give you this thing. Oh, I just got do you know how they got it? Do you know do you want to really do what they did to get that? Do you understand? And I'm not trying to like castigate anyone right now, but I'm just saying that your life is so much different from someone else. And I had to start realizing that I don't know if this thing happens whereby they say people have different pathways of life. There are some people that are just lucky that they don't need to stress to get things done. While some people they have to stress to get things done. I don't know if you've heard about that, but that is so good. Like that's life. I need to accept the fact that you're going to be in either of those categories, and if you find yourself in those categories, you need to work towards that. You need to be hungry to do what you want to do and to get to where you want to get to. So just stopped comparing myself. I started becoming happier. I started realizing that, oh, when I see things happening for people, I just tap into their blessing. I was just like, oh, I'm so happy for you. This or that. I want to go back and be like, oh, how do I, you know, get myself to this stage because now there are two things when you compare yourself. If you compare yourself, you're either feeling very sad or you start losing yourself in a way that you start over competing and doing and doing stupendous things to get to where that person is. Do you understand? Your hunger, it's not even positive anymore. It's a negative hunger. You start seeing that you're now doing things that aren't even who you really are as a person. Do you understand? And the next thing I started doing to become more happy, to be my more happy, I stopped holding grudges. Like, to be very honest, like, and I feel like if you know who you really are, and you've been in past relationships, or you're still having old relationships, and there are some things that has happened in the past, you're still holding grudges. I'm telling you, you're not going to be happy with that person 100, because even though you guys go out, your mindset is still that this is what this person did to me, I'm not happy. Or you see the person in an event, you're carrying your face. Like, that is not the way to live life. Do you understand? And I was a very big timer of that. Like, I would hold grudge with someone, I would fight with someone, and I didn't really forgive that person. Over like the years, if I see that person, I'll be like, oh, ew, that it was very toxic, and I was not really happy with myself. Do you understand? And that's why I keep telling a lot of people that you need to understand that there are other things to think of in life. There are other things to think about in life than just what someone did to you. Do you understand? Because I feel like for me to be at this stage, I had to understand what life really was. I had to start, when I started focusing on myself, I didn't even have time to even think that I was holding any grudge with someone. So what I did was just to let go and forgive that person. Now, listen to me, there are some situations in life whereby the person might have really really hurt you, and please do not accept that person in your life back depending on the hurt, because it has to be, if that person really did it out of not their knowledge, or just that person did it out of spite, please and please do not get my emotion wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that let go and forgive. In as much as the person has hurt you so much, just let go and forgive. And that's why you see a lot of people, they've not dated for 4 years because they've not forgiven what one man did to them before or one lady did to them. Do you understand? Because now they now have that fear. They don't want to. Do you understand? And that's even it coming down to my next point. That's overcommitting. Do you understand? I want you to understand that. Listen to me. When you understand the concept of forgiveness, you start seeing that things will start working well in your life. When you start letting go of grudges, you start seeing that things will start working well in your life. Even like now, when I'm talking about people hurting you, now due to that hurt, you now hold grudges against that person. You're not going to move forward in life. You would literally think that all the men are scum. You literally think that all friendship that are all ladies' friendship are useless. Maybe they're trying to just, eat your money, use you for outing or whatever. So once you don't let go and forgive them and forgive yourself for being in that space, you're going to see that you will never ever find anyone that is going to love you genuinely. You will never even find yourself in a situation like you will not even accept a good relationship anymore. Do you understand? And then you're just destroying your life paths. Life path is a different topic entirely. I'm gonna talk about it on my channel, but it's gonna take a lot. Anyways, like I said, overcommitting. I started realizing that I got happier when I stopped overcommitting. And committing is when you're overcommitted to someone. Now, when I get into a new relationship or when I get into a new friendship, what I tell myself is that I'm gonna accept whatever it is I'm gonna take in this relationship, but then I set boundaries, then I prioritize my well-being. Now, being overly committed like gives away and gives a part in someone controlling your life based on your emotions. Do you understand? Because now some people become overly committed, and when that man or lady lives their life, that is the end of their life because they have invested who they are as a human being into that relationship, into that friendship. That's when you now start seeing people go crazy, go mad that, oh my God, I can't even believe that this person could leave me because you were overly committed, that person had an upper hand to who you really are. Now you, in your head, you're now feeling like, I can't do without that person. And when I started setting boundaries, when I started knowing that, I started becoming very happy because when I clarify my boundaries to you in friendships and relationships, there are some certain things you wouldn't even try. Do you understand? When I started realizing that, when I compared to how young I was in the past, when someone left me in the past, I was always crying. I was always saying, oh my gosh, like, how would I do it with this person? Even in friendships, I'm like, oh my God, I can do it with this person. And I'm like, when I started getting older, I started realizing that I was extremely committed to those people that it felt like I couldn't do without them. Do you understand? It felt like I couldn't do without them. It felt like I was crazy, like I wouldn't find someone else. Let me tell you something, you would definitely find someone else. And when someone lives your life, like I always say, there are 7 billion people in the world. I think currently that's the census at most. There are 7 billion people in the world. Let me tell you something. If someone leaves, surely someone else is going to come. So don't be overly committed if you want to be really happy. Yes, it's going to hurt, but it's going to take like 2 weeks or a month, and that's fine. Don't overly take like 7 years of your life and then you've not moved on. That is what some people are going through right now. So if you want to be happy, stop being overly committed to people and learn how to set boundaries. Another way that I started knowing that I was happy was I stopped seeking perfection. Now, let me tell you something. Perfection will hold you back. It will hold you back because you always want to be perfect. Like you always want things to be perfect for you before you start anything. Like, okay, for instance, you have a dream job of being a fashion designer, right? And you're at this stage of your life that you don't really have money for that. You're in your head, you want things to be perfect. Like, oh, you want to get married first. If your husband has the money, That's when you want to start being a fashion designer, or I don't have money right now. Till when I have money. How do you want to get that money? How do you want things to be perfect? Oh, right now, I want things to be perfect. I want to settle down before I go for my master's. I want, like, you guys, like, you want everything to be perfect. Like, perfection will hold you back from your success. I'm telling you, you need to start embracing imperfection. Embracing imperfection. That's why there's somebody on TikTok, a guy, that he literally shows his life. He's showing his life, explaining to people that this is how he lives. In as much as people might think, oh, it's not a conducive area, but to him at this point, this is what he can afford. This is his imperfect life till he gets to that perfect position. Do you understand? So you need to understand that things do not have to get perfect before you start knowing that, oh, this is what your potentials are and this is what you want to start putting into action. Do you understand? Because it's going to hold you back from your potentials, it's going to hold you back from your goals, it's going to hold you back from my achievements. And you start seeing yourself that in the next 5 years, you're literally not doing anything for yourself because you wanted something to be perfect. Do you understand? And this also happened in relationships. There was a time that one of my friends was like, oh, she wanted to, like, finish school, university. She wanted to finish NYSC. She wanted so many things to be perfect before. And that held her back, that when people came to her, like when potential suitors came to her and everything, she had to turn them down. Do you get? So this actually held her back from actually meeting her life partner. And it's never too late, don't get me wrong. But right now, that is why this video is up here for you. If you know that you're part of those people that tend to do this kind of thing, I am begging you, change that mindset right now. Change that mindset, right? Things do not have to be perfect before you want to start something. Anyways, guys, the next point is procrastination. Now, I need you guys to know that when you start exploring the negative effects of procrastination, like practical tips to improve productivity and reduce stress, I'm going to give you that. Now, when you understand that, when I I've always told you guys on my channel, I was procrastinating before I began my YouTube channel consistently. That was last year, November. And I started realizing that procrastination would make you be unhappy. Do you understand? You'll be so unhappy that when you now look back of how much you've procrastinated, you just be like, God, that what exactly am I doing? Like, how did I do this? Like, how did I get, like, now, even in my spiritual life, there was a time that, you take a break. So I took a break and I had a lot of things going on in me. I started seeing myself like retracting from God's area. Do you understand? And I started saying, oh, I need to start going to church. I need to start praying. I need to start doing a lot of things. And I started seeing that without God, I was just an empty human. Do you understand? And then I started seeing that I was so unhappy. I was just like, what is wrong? What is happening? So I started procrastinating my goals. I started procrastinating what I wanted to do. And when I now come back at the end of the day, I will just feel so unhappy. So when I started realizing the principle behind that, I started getting better. I started being a happy woman. I started my life back. I felt who I was as a person back into my life. Do you understand? And another point is that stop dwelling on the past. Stop dwelling on the past. Do you know why? Like I said in the other one that I said, I think I talked about friendship, relationships, and what. Stop dwelling on the past, because dwelling on the past that you can't control will surely make you unhappy. I'm sorry about that. That's why you need to understand that when you dwell in friendships in the past, relationships that hurt you, like I explained previously, you now start being unhappy, unnecessary unhappiness. To be very honest, unnecessary unhappiness. That's why it's good to let go of the past. Like I said, let go and forgive. Let go of the past. Stop dwelling and move forward. When you start seeing you're moving forward, all those things will not even get you more concerned again. So stop worrying even about the future. Worrying about the future, something that has not even happened. Why are you killing yourself? Why are you killing yourself for something that has not happened? There is always one thing that has always made me move forward, is that I can control my present state. That is the only thing that has made me move forward. And that's why I'm literally happy. Do you know that you can control your future? Do you know that? If you let yourself be grinded, if you let yourself be disciplined, you can control your future in the way that you can control and stop worrying about it. Control the present time. If you know that, okay, this is what you want in the future, you want to be a billionaire, you want to be an entrepreneur, I'm sorry, you're going to be unhappy if you start, you know, thinking about those things like, oh my God, Jesus is so big. Like, how am I going to do that? Like I said, little steps are going to get you there. So control those little steps to get you there instead of worrying about the future. And you're always unhappy every time. And that's why I tell people, stop pleasing other people. That is another point. Stop doing people pleasing. When you see someone that keeps doing people pleasing, you are robbing yourself of your happiness. I'm sorry that there's no way I want to explain that. Okay, imagine if you're someone that you don't like going to boat cruises, or you don't like I don't know, a lot of things, whatever habits you think that your friend is, and then someone tells you, or your boyfriend tells you, oh babe, I want to go to a boat cruise. Do you want to follow me? And you have the fear of water. Do you get? Due to the fact that you want to please him, due to the fact that you want to, or look at this example, yeah, you don't like being in law, you don't like studying medicine, and then just because you want to please your parents, you go into a course. I'm telling you that throughout that 7 years in your life, you're going to be so unhappy. You might even drop out at some point. Do you understand? And then you start seeing yourself bending rules, and deep inside of yourself, you're not happy. You're not who you really are. You're just killing yourself. Do you understand? And that's why I always say that a lot of people ignore self-care. And once you start ignoring self-care, I'm so sorry, you start becoming sad. When I'm talking about self-care, I'm talking about like body goals. Have you noticed that a lot of people that are sad, yeah, they tend to stress eat, they tend to do a lot of things. Like a lot of people that are depressed, they go into something called coping mechanism. Do you understand? So when they go into that, that's when you now start seeing that they are not even contented, like they are not happy with their body, the way the body looks. They are not happy with the way their skin are, because they have forgotten how to take care of themselves. So when you start realizing that you need to now inculcate the act of self-care, you start seeing that, oh, my skin is glowing, I'm fit, I can literally, do you know that there was an extent that I was so unhappy that when I bent, I was eating so much because I was stress eating, and because of the stress from work, when I bent, or when I walked from there to there, I was always breathing so hard. I'm like, yo, it needs to come to caution. Do you understand? And when I started realizing and started taking care of myself, I started becoming so happy. Like, I started becoming so happy. I was confident. I started, appreciating how my body was. Do you understand? And another thing I want to tell you guys is that stop engaging in toxic relationships. Remove yourself, recognize that relationship, and remove yourself. Do you know why? When you're in a toxic relationship, that person talks down on you. That person condescends you. That person, criticizes you. Sorry. That person tells you you're worthless. You're not good enough. Without me, you're not going to find another man. You get? Or a friend that is very toxic. Anytime you're trying to talk about your goals, she's literally not even listening to you, or she literally just overtakes your life. Everything is just toxic. You guys, she doesn't listen to you, she manipulates you, she gaslights you, they gaslight you, whatever it is. When you recognize that, when I started recognizing things like that, I started removing myself from people, and I started cutting off relationships from that. Do you understand? And that's when I started realizing that cutting off people, toxic people and toxic relationship can literally make me happy. In as much as right now, I've got a lot of people out of my life, but I have never been as happy as I am. I don't know if it's part of growth. Obviously, it's part of growth. And it's part of me being and understanding the aspect of being a happy girl, because this life, I cannot stress. Do you understand? And another thing that consumes people and bring in happiness and unhappiness and anxiety is excessive use of social media. I need you to understand that you need to start learning how to digitally detox yourself. Now, when I'm talking about digitally detox yourself, you see that in the morning, you're opening Instagram, you're checking. That takes you into 2 p.m. Now, due to that, you're overloading your social media, you're doing this, you wouldn't even get any work done. And next thing, you look back, it's 7 p.m. and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not happy with myself because I didn't get work done. You need to understand that. And there's this app that actually does this thing. It regulates your usage on social media. It's not like the child lock on the phone. It regulates your time on social media. Like, as for me, there's this do not disturb I've put on Instagram that it notifies me that by 10 p.m. I have to get off Instagram and go to bed so I can be able to wake up by 5 a.m. Do you understand? So those habits that I imputed actually helped me a lot. And you need to know that you need to stop neglecting your physical mind and health, because this would give you a healthy, like they said a healthy mind is a healthy body, a healthy body is a healthy mind. So I need you to go home with that explanation. I need you guys to go home with that point. Healthy mind is a healthy body. So, and also one thing that I have noticed that actually make always tell people is stop resisting change. You need to start finding growth in new experiences and new places. And when you start resisting change, you start seeing that you're stagnant and you're stressed. And that is a very high key in why a lot of people are very unhappy and overthinking. I am a victim. I used to overthink. I overthought. And I started understanding the concept of overthinking. I started realizing that overthinking is something called for self-control. So when I started noticing that I started overthinking, your heart rate to be so high, you start having headache, you can't even sleep, right? So, and I started realizing that, oh, it's till when the person clarifies it to you, you literally understand that your hormones and your signals, your dopamine level, all of those things has reduced. You're no more thinking so much. And as I realizing that, what's the concept of overthinking? I had to find techniques that could calm me down and find peace. So when I started realizing that, I started understanding that I need to have to work on myself and my overthinking, because if this person didn't tell me that they were where they were, or I started overthinking about my future with them, or I started overthinking about my success, do you understand, I would start literally it will cause me so much unhappiness. So you need to let people do what they want to do. Let people do what they want to do. Control your emotions. Let it be that it's going to be coming to you. Do you understand? It's going to be coming to you, and you need to understand that you're not in control of other people's actions. So whatever it is, when the time is right, let things go and just focus on what makes you a better person. Do you understand? So anyways, guys, I've come to the end of this video. I love you all so much. My name still remains Naomi of We Do. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have more points or tips that you want to convert, you want to conclude on this, you can also comment down in the section below and let me hear some of your thoughts on how you became a happy woman from that unhappy stage. Anyways, guys, I love you all so much. I hope this video did a whole lot of justice to what you've been thinking about and how you were going to try to correct that. Yes, guys. Anyways, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.